my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So first things first, I didn't show you the quilt yesterday. I didn't show you the chickenless chicken salad that finally got one chicken on it, did I? I just had it on the chair, and I realized later I didn't show it. I'm pretty sure I didn't show it. If I did, we're showing it again. So here it is, all quilted, ready to be trimmed, and then binding. Binding. So look. So I have, this is a lot of busy fabric. So Karen, my long armor, and I, this is the backing. It's a wide back from the fabric lines, Lori Holt's fabric lines. So we decided on like this wave. Can you see it? See, it's very hard to see. Maybe on the cherries. On the cherries here. This is there we go. Wrangle the quilt. Quilt Wrangler. Okay, so I think on the, yeah, you can see it now. See that? So we did this sort of horizontal wave across it because, you know, the fabrics are so busy, you just don't see a design on something like this. So my New Year's resolution is when they come in from the long armor, I will get them trimmed and binding on. ASAP. So this has been here 3 days? Yes. ASAP, Pat. ASAP. I don't know how I'm going to do on that part, but it is staying in the room here. I didn't move it out, and so I'm pretty sure I will do that this weekend. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Okay, so I want to show it to you. And now you know it is the 10th anniversary of my Quilt Along with Pat Sloan group at Facebook, which, like I told you the backstory, it's not the first Quilt Along group I've had, but it's the one that I've had the longest, and it is the largest at 400,000 strong quilters across the world. So we're doing lots of celebrations. Today is the last day for you to enter for the irons. Let's see, this one actually, oh goodness. It was on, so it's been warmed up for you. So the irons today is the last day on the irons. It's the green one we're giving away, and the yellow larger iron. So you want to do that. The Aliso is my host for that one. I also have the thread, the Orifil thread. So I'll put all the links in the description box below and at my website again for you to go, because each link is a different spot for you to go to. So we've got the Orifil thread. Yes, you've got to go and enter. So it doesn't happen if you don't enter. And I know a few of you have said that you've had a hard time finding how to enter, and I can tell you that from having run these for 20 years, there is always a group of you who can't get to things for whatever reason. Whether you just don't understand the directions well enough, or your interface to my website is not good, so it's not showing you the spot, whatever it is. There's always a small group of you. That's just the way life is. Technology, you've got a lot of different technologies talking to each other. But I did this little video. Okay, you just go on the article. Here's the article. Here's where I told you to go right to the very end and look for this. And so now you go down, and there's all the information for the day. And then here is the photo sharing that's always at the end of the post. And then here are all the comments. Then you have to go to all the end of the comments, down. I have no control over how many of these show up. I can't change this format. It's how it works. And you go to the end, and here it is. You just type, then your name, your email, leave this blank, and then hit post. And that's it. That is on my computer. You can do that on your desktop. You can do that on a browser, on your iPad, and a browser on your phone. So go into browser mode on your phone. It looks exactly the same. I did it on my Android. If you're in browser mode, get out of the app mode. If you don't know how to do that, ask somebody locally for tech support. Okay, so because we have more giveaways for the month, more. This one today, and you have a week pretty much. One of them will be longer, but they're all pretty much a week. So today's I am giving away a full roll of batting. I don't have a full roll of batting here. I have a partial roll, but the Worm Company is who I work with batting, and they are delighted to ship a roll of batting to one of you or you or you. Somebody will get a roll of batting. These are US only. This one, so thread is international, worldwide. The irons are, the big iron could be a Canadian winner. The small is just US. So every time it's going to be just a little bit different because I work with all US companies. This primarily has to be in US due to rules and regulations and company policies, things I have no control over. So that's how that's all going. So I hope that you get yourself excited and fun for all this. Someone did ask me, what does the inside of the notebooks look like? They all look the same. And when you go to the website, you can see it. There's a picture of the inside. So they're just tiny little dots like a graph paper, but tiny little dots instead. So it's not lines, it's a dotted graph. And they all my notebooks are the same company, so they all look like this. And there's a photo of it at the website, the inside, so you can see, you can check it out. Okay, fun. So here I've got that going. I've got the 2 rows of mushroom sewn and 2 rows of sashing sewn. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's pretty darling, don't you? Yeah, I love the black and white. So black and white is like your power tool. It's a power tool fabric, because if you have things that are on a lot of different fabric colors, if you can sort of tighten them up and pull them in like I did with the mushrooms when you watch me eliminate the green ones, you know, maybe I eliminated, I think, a turquoise and took it down to a smaller subset of colors because this is a small quilt. And so it can't handle the chaos as well of colors. So it took the subset of colors down some, and then accenting with the black and white jar lids and the black and white shelf, it is just pulls it all together. It is your power tool. Another thing we didn't talk about it yesterday, but it was on the calendar for yesterday because yesterday was too busy. So today, the month of January is a celebration of tea. Tea. I grew up drinking tea. I actually didn't drink coffee until about my 3rd or 4th job, where coffee was more readily available than tea. So that's why I switched, and I drink both now, but I drink more coffee than tea. But tea is a favorite. So share your quilts with teacups, teapots, or fabrics that have teacups or teapots on them. So that should be super fun. Just like yesterday, the buttons, oh my goodness. If you have not gone to Quilt Along with Pat Sloan and seen the buttons, you need to get yourself over there. They are so darn cute. Super, super cute. So I had a Q&A. Oh no, let me see. I got another finish. Let me do the finish first. I have my finish. Look at this. My 10th anniversary block. I gave this to you as a free pattern and then showed you if you just make this block and repeat, you can sit them side by side, and the checkerboard creates a double checkerboard sashing, which is super cool. So mine is ready to go on the front door. I'm so excited. Like, I'm really late. Like, was this the 12th? And I don't have a quilt on the front door. But guess what? In the mail from Lillian in Ohio, who sent this super sweet note, and look what she sent me. She made me a quilt. Oh my goodness, Lillian. Oh my goodness. Look. It's made with my sleepover fabric, and she also used a matte fabric for the back. Look at this. And I love that pop of green for the binding. It's just perfect. So now I have a second quilt for my front door. I am so excited. And she said that she's been following me for at least 5 years and collecting my fabrics. And I just thank you so much. That is so incredibly sweet of you. Mwah. I am going to cherish my 10th anniversary quilt from you. That is so awesome. So for Tidy Up, we are on the 3rd day, and then you have 3 days now to pick from the things from the last 2 days and today to work on. So today could be a hard one for some of you, but I'm only asking you to do one, just one. You can do more, but find one thing to get rid of. As something. There has to be something, whether you have a ruler you have never used, just never used it, or you used it and you really don't like it, it's just not your thing. It's time to get it out of your life and move it on to somebody else who would be able to use it and interested in using it. You might have some fabric that is just never spoken to you. It's just taking up space in your life. You have to maintenance it. You have to have it as your inventory. It takes up space. Get rid of that piece of fabric. You might have some books that you've used and you've made things from. You're really never going to make things out of them again. So look around. There is something. You might have been collecting scraps maybe and decided you really aren't going to use them. So maybe you want to shed some of that. So you can take these to local guilds, local sewing centers. There are places that will, there's all kinds of places. Reseller shops. It may, so if you want to make a little bit of change on it, you can do that. But free up your mental, This one thing. Okay, from our ambassadors. So Barbara says, work on your pattern organization. What do you have going on? Do you have patterns that you haven't used? You could, get rid of those, or do you just need to sort them in some sort of order? Maybe quilts and tote bags and table runners, something like that. She says also you might want to get out your writing tools and take a look at them. Do you have like a broken pencil that you got in there for no reason? Get rid of that stuff. Your marking tools. Also, machine maintenance. Do a little bit of that. Give your machine a little love. Carrie says, this is a big one. Carrie thinks big. Make a list. Make a list of your projects, your works in progress, your wanna-dos, your tops, your kits. If you've not ever made a list, this might be a great weekend to do that and just take an assessment of what you have. And that might be the only thing you do from the Tidy Up, but it's a very valuable one to do. And then Laura says if you have multiple sewing machines, like she does, and you have some that you haven't used for a while, get them out, run them, oil them, give them a little love. Yeah, a little love. Everybody needs a little love this weekend. So that's a good thing to do. But before we pull pancake fabric from Diana in Washington State, she sent this, and I can tell you, Diana, I started to giggle when I opened the package because look what she found me. Oh my goodness. These are eggs with cute little faces on them. Look at that. Just so stinking cute. Just so cute. Thank you. She said she couldn't believe it when she walked in the store and saw that. And I thank you so much. They're darling. Show you some eggs from last week before we get to the pancakes. Our first darling egg looks like it's a blue plate special. It's from Karen. Look at that. Look at her cute little face. And she used buttons for the eyes. We have a second Karen, and she found some really fancy background fabric. Look at that. I just love it. Love. Kendall, our ambassador, here is his lovely egg. And he did a video on how he does applique, so you might want to go check that out at his channel. The next up is Laura, our ambassador, and she decided that she needed sort of a blue plate special, but she had a floral plate for her egg. Isn't that sweet? And she only sews on vintage sewing machines, so there is one of her gorgeous machines. Linda shared that she got this ornament of bacon and eggs from her granddaughter. Isn't that darling? Just perfect for this quilt along. Okay, now you gotta laugh. Peggy Lou shared that she has a bad egg. So this is her bad egg, and she says it kind of goes with her cooking skills. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. So Sherry also did a blue plate special and a gingham tablecloth for it. So cute. Sonia's got a blue plate. Okay, I love the plate. See, I should have done a plate for you all, but you are creative. You did it yourselves. And Stacy has this egg, the egg white. Look at that. Look how cute it is. I love that. Little smiley faces. See, there they are on blue. Okay, so we have flapjacks. The parts of our flapjack are easy. So 1, 2, 3, 4 pancake parts. right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And the face is on the lower two. You can see that in the picture. And then I have some syrup that goes on the top. And so here's how they stack. And I will show you, but I stack them. I will take each one, cut out like I showed you before. Then I will stack them. I will sew them after they are stacked. And I'll give you a little tip, but I would definitely stack the pancakes first. But I'll give you a little tip after I sew them. But first let's pick some fabric because okay, so here's the egg, and this is the embroidery fabric, the embroidery thread that I'm using for mine. I just went digging around. I thought, okay, it's just a little bit lighter than black, so I'm good with that. So let's just pick one sheet here for the pancakes. Mine are all just going to go on white like this, but I've seen a lot of cute ones put on plates. So if you want to make a circle and put your stuff on a plate, go right ahead. So pancakes to me are kind of tan or brown, and I want to make them at least 2 different fabrics, if not 4 different fabrics, because if you make them all the same fabric, it's a little harder to distinguish each one from the other. If you just make them all a different fabric but in similar colorways, you are good to go. So if I do something like this, these are the 4 pancakes, and then my syrup will be golden. Now syrup to you might be, here is this Fruit Loop fabric. Syrup might be more, you might have it more brown, like you could do a dark brown syrup, but I don't think that's as cute. Honestly, I don't want dark brown syrup. So it's like I want yellow syrup. So I could do something like this one, which is a bit more personality, or I could just go with the more tonal. And this is the Fruit Loop fabric. So I think I'm going to go with the more tonal. If I made it a little darker, just hold on, let me see. So here is a grunge, which is one of the motive fabrics from Basic Gray. It's a basic line, and it has sort of these, areas that are lighter in it, sort of distressed areas. See, so that one I think looks just a little bit richer than this. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. So I've yet to use the Fruit Loop fabric, but that's okay. I eventually will. So here I am just stacking everything because I can't draw one inside the other. They're too much the same size. So I'm just putting them one right under the other, but I'm leaving some room in between. Don't put them so close that you can't cut between them and have some space, because remember, you're going to cut out this interior here and they'll become very wiggly, like a little noodle. Be sure you open up all your fabric, because I just found that this piece here had this little strip. So that is what the pancake is going to be cut out of, rather than out of the body. I don't need to cut away from that. Perfect. But open it up and check. First thing you do, remember, is take the paper off, because you don't want to lay all these out and then find out that you didn't have the paper down. Because once it's laid out, you want to just fuse it down. I have it on the board so I can just easily take it over to the iron and slip this off onto the ironing board and press it. Okay, so here would be the syrup on top, like this. So cute. So cute. Okay, I switched these two because the little face will be easier to draw, to show up the little mouth on here than on here. Now here's my one tip. A couple things here. Placement. I'm starting just, about 1.5 inches from the bottom. But if you wanted the pancakes tighter together, more like silver dollars, like they're the skinny ones, you can make the stack like this, and then the syrup like that. Or like I have had it here, I am just, pull this down. You just want to be sure the edge is covered. See, there's the edge, right? Here's the edge, cover the edge. Be sure the edges are covered. And then I get a tall stack like this. So that's what I'm going for. I'm going for the tall stack. Now the other thing you could do is you could leave this off. That way you could blanket stitch or top stitch all of this, applique it first, and then put this on top and applique it. If you're new, you might find that a little easier than trying to just applique these little pieces in here. you will feel your stitches underneath the syrup. Right here, if you've sewn all the way across here, when you put the syrup down, you will feel the stitches. Same with that edge right there. If that doesn't bother you, this way will make it a little bit faster and easier to do. Okay, so let me just grab a few threads and let's look at color. I have a lot of thread. I work with the Orifil Thread Company. I have used their thread for many, many years since they started in the US, and I have all the colors. And so this is my yellow orange bin, which is where I have kind of the tan color as well. And I've pulled a few because I need to show you up close. You'll be working to audition, and many of you have already done this because you do it with your machine applique. I came from a hand applique background where I am matching my thread color to the fabric. I don't want to see the thread color when doing hand applique, and when I approach my machine applique, I do it mostly the same way. I want it to mostly blend in. I don't want my thread to be a feature. I want it to just really blend in. So first, let's look at the pancakes themselves. So I have this tan, which is a little lighter than some and blends into some, and I am just going to go with that. So it kind of blends right into this, almost into this. It'll show up a little bit on this one. It'll show up a little bit on that lighter one. I could go and find a lighter shade, but I'm not going to. I think it'll be fine to have a little bit of accent. I could also use this variegated. You see how it is very lightly variegated? And that would just be beautiful. So that's the other one I'm thinking of. I may just do that one. Okay, let's look at the pancakes. I pulled these two. One is more gold and one is actually kind of a burnt orange for this color here. And what's going to happen is you're going to see one is lighter and one is darker. So here is the gold. And I'm going to come in, and it is matching pretty darn good, isn't it? And then here is the burnt orange, and that is also matching pretty darn good. But you can see there's a sheen. On the light one, you can see it more. The orange one, what's happening? Yeah, it's going away from you because lights are going to come towards you, darks are going to go away from you, and that's science. And so I didn't make that up. But you can see it right here. It's just a perfect example. So I think I am going to go with the orangey one. So what I'm going to do now is fuse this all down, stitch it, and then we'll wrap up. I use this variegated thread, which is 4150 of Orifil. And you can see here, see how it's darker as it comes around, and then it went lighter up to very light, and then it starts going back down to darker. So I actually started here. So this is the method I went, and then I went around the next pancake up to here, and then I stopped. And then these two I did like this, around like that. And so you mostly can see the variegation on the light one, and that's why I didn't put the syrup on top first, because I wanted to be able to show you the whole thing around since it was a longer area. So you can see here, it's all stitched, the syrup. But can you see here the dark line where this is shadowing? This one is shadowing underneath. What I did, I already did it, but I just went ahead and cut it away. Just cut the piece out so that now there's no shadow. I just trimmed it right back to just above the stitch line, and there's really no shadow. And I've got my dots and my smiley face, so let me embroider that. Here it is all finished, our Flapjack love. This turns out so cute. So remember these tips, each week I'll give you sort of a different set of tips for applique, a little bit different lesson for applique. Today was all about that thread color and about the layering, whether you want to layer and stitch in sort of portions, and you just know that underneath here I can feel those stitches. If I were to press it, it would actually make a mark. If I were to press down with the iron, right? You could test it. Do a test. You'll see. Okay, here they are, the two of them. So darling, so darling. Don't forget, today the wonderful people at Warm Company are giving away a batting to somebody at my website. Everything is at my website, and so there you go. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you on Tuesday online.